Hello, hello, hello. My name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute RV Convos. Follow along with me as I hit the road to have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Amazing audience, we are live here with Ron Pearl, aka Ronald Pearl. Just join in. We are allowing you to see how I have conversations with amazing people, right? And I mean, it's just natural for me. I love it. I'm passionate about it. It's even easier when I meet amazing people like Ron. So, Ron, I mean, tell us about yourself.
So I am co-founder of Expand Your Impact with my wife, Mandy White Pearl. Mandy actually ran into your promotion originally, and our first conversation was right at the end of 2017 when you were in your run-up. I forget exactly what the total was, but you were trying to do like 10,000 in a month.
I'm in there.
Yeah, you were doing a lot, and I was glad to be involved. I think we did it like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I sat there, that same computer, that same desk. We didn't do a whole tour. But I liked your format. You had a couple of nice questions, something everybody could answer.
Yeah.
And the change that you want to see in the world is what we want to exemplify.
Yeah, you said that. In our conversation. You said, as well as when people like you make noise, and you were meaning on the online space, like we hear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we hear. And you didn't just let that be. You could have looked at that from far, right? But instead, you came in and it was fun, right? Now tell us a bit more about your situation between that time, 2017, the ending up from like December to now.
Let's see. Last year we finished the year off with a trip to Copenhagen. I do some training work, and they had a 3-day event in Copenhagen. And then we had, obviously, holiday season in December. That's when we connected. This year, we started off mid-January with a promotion to try and influence 1 million entrepreneurs around the world to become more conscious and then carry that consciousness out into the world. We did a 7-day live free event, doing all kinds of teaching, trying to reach out in different ways. Consciousness means lots of different things to different people. And then for them to activate it in their business, they got to be able to make money. They got to be able to get their message out. They got to know what they're doing. So we provide, tactical training about how to use social media and how to get your word out and how to frame what you do. We talk with a lot of other coaches, and we help people transition out of, they've got a corporate job, they want to go out on their own, and when they make big changes in their life, all the crazy in their whole universe comes raining down.
Exactly right.
And so when the craziness comes out, that's when that's what I get to play with, is a lot of the crazy. My wife's developed a lot of online training programs. You can press buttons with LinkedIn and Facebook and make your business work. And it's through this training called Access Consciousness and lots of other modalities that we help people. Sometimes it's in groups. So I do that, and then in the last 6 months, all that artwork you saw, that painting.
Yeah, we definitely capture that.
The painting is what is fascinating to me, because sometimes the work life, it feels like you have to show up at a certain time and you have to get it done and you have to get it right, and you feel like you're doing it for other people. And I started painting just because it was a way to just do something just for fun, just for me, and not really care about it. And then I just found that I liked it, so I started doing it more. So I would be on calls, and I'm out in the garage painting while I'm on these calls. Yeah. Right. So that's why you saw that there's a lot of art. There's stuff there's stuff all around the house. It's going from a garage to an art studio just because I got enough art stuff out there. So that's been the biggest change for me, is that taking on this painting and sort of the journey of it.
Yeah. Did you paint before?
No, I've always done lots of different creative stuff. I did photography, so like that picture of the sun, that picture of the sunrise over there. Those 3 are all pictures that I've done in the past.
Yeah.
But I just did it as a layman. This is all with my iPhone. I think that picture of the beach with the sunrise, that's the pier about 1.5 miles away at dawn.
Glorious, right?
And the way that the clouds, the clouds hid the sun and created the ray effect. And I caught that with an iPhone. Like, it was 1 in a million, right? That you'd get that kind of thing. In the past, I've done a lot of writing. I've been a singer in a band for a while. So I've always been a creative type. And I actually saw like a Facebook video of someone pouring paint to like make something happen. And I was like, well, how hard can that be? So the next week, my wife was doing something with, she makes jewelry.
Right.
And so she was at Michael's, and I was like, well, let me just get some paint and see what it is. And I was out there screwing around, and I had one hanging in our bedroom. It was the first one that I had done. Since she was sort of part of the inspiration, I poured this art, and the way that it turned out, I was like, oh, that's really good.
That's amazing.
I'm quite impressed with myself. Right?
But do tell me about your shoes. And your shoes speaks millions and miles about you, right? So I have this new thing where I'm highlighting shoes, your own unique real shoes.
Right.
Some people say, show me your shoes, but I'm not too sure if I want to travel the journey you've traveled in those shoes.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah? So what has been the type of journey you've been through? I mean, you came out barefooted though, right?
Yeah, that's just some idea. I just hopped out of the flip-flops when I went to the shopping. Shoes are utilitarian for me for the most part. Yeah. I have a couple of pairs that I can walk into the garden with and then turn and go out to dinner. Yeah. And I wouldn't think twice about it. I got a couple that you wear out if I needed to dress up a little bit. Yeah. But they collect dust a lot.
So tell us about that then, that lifestyle then that you've chosen then, and the sacrifices that have come with it, being that person, right?
I used to run an agency. I had a team and a payroll and stuff to do, right? And then, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, the business turned and my business slowed down. And I started to work with my wife more. Through some synchronicities, we found that we enjoyed it. She'd always worked here by herself, had her business, and I would leave, right? And she'd have the whole house to herself. She'd be alone for 40 or 50 hours a week. And then I shut that office down and I started to be here. And we got to fall in love all over again through the application of the business in this practice. Because any amount of coaching, and I'm phenomenal at it, but I'm like some idiot savant. Like I never trained into how to do this. Yeah. I just became more familiar with the principles. And then when you can look at somebody in non-judgment, they lay themselves out in front of you.
So that's what it is. I always wonder why people lay themselves out before me. It's the non-gen.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You're curious, too. Yeah. That's the other part, is you're curious. Yeah. Right? You want to know how all these other people work. Yeah. That's why the shoe thing appeals to you. Yeah. You had a story about their childhood, because that would tell you something. You know what I mean? I remember. Right? Outside that it's universal, but you're looking for something. Yeah. So, in the most interesting trainings that I've done and some of the work that I've done, consciousness is the judgment of nothing and the allowance of everything. And the judgment of nothing sounds like conceptually, it sounds great, right? But then you bring up anything that's dark or weird in life, right? And how am I not supposed to judge it? Right? How am I supposed to raise my children without describing things as good and bad or right and wrong? It's a totally different way to approach your life, and it's now I got 40 years of training of being this person, and now it hits me that I want to retrain how I think about things.
Is that painful, that experience?
Only to the stuff you hold on to.
Does it feel like waste?
Tell me what you mean.
The time.
No, everything got me where I'm at.
I love that.
So I had a conversation with my boy last night. Adults generally aren't fun. They're not seeking fun. It's not it's not their core, what they're trying to go get. I used to be more angry and frustrated. My boy is 12, and I said, you know that I've worked to improve myself, and it's not something I told you about. You're aware, and you're sitting here watching. And I asked him. He said, "You're more fun now." Wow. Those were his words. I was like, "That's really cool, right?" I learned a lesson, for instance, in Kabbalah. There's a Kabbalah center right around the corner, and the main guy comes to me, he holds my hand because he asked me why I had come there. And I had anger that I didn't understand why it was present and where it was coming from. And he held my 2 hands and he said, "You can be right, or you can be at peace." And he shook this hand. He said, "You can be right, or you can be at peace." And you set my hands out, and it was like the next person. That was the easiest way he could deliver it. And the point about it is if you're going to be right about something, then you have to defend it, for one thing, right? And you have to hold on to it, and you don't see another point of view. So as soon as you're in defense of it, you're no longer in peace.
Yeah.
You can't be both.
That's beautiful.
It's very simple, right? So, like, I had to learn that I'm more important than my wife. That was difficult. Why is that the case? Because I have to hold myself in my highest regard at all times, regardless of what she does or says or is or whatever. And in my example, I can serve her. If I get off course every time something happens, I'm not of any value to her. So I had to up my game in order to deliver on that concept.
Oh, that's amazing. So you mean you didn't need to do more overtime? I'm joking.
Yeah. Actually, the hardest lesson is doing less.
Yes, I agree. It's for me, as usual, on this 12-minute convo journey, it's fascinating to me the synchronicity that occurs. It was the word you used when we first spoke. I told you about the cards I had from Mary Lunnan, and before me was sitting that card for the day, synchronicity, right? And you brought it up again, right? For those who didn't hear it, you could rewind it, right? But he talked about the synchronicity between him and his wife and how that worked. But what I've found is it's amazing how things connect. The guy that I spoke to right before you, he was talking about his challenges judging. And you don't know this guy, right? And
sure.
I was on the other side.
I have no idea
we were, right? We haven't even released it yet. But to see how things lead up to you making the move to be somewhere and then get the answers, but then being able to connect other people to the answers is fascinating to me.
Yes.
To see you do that with your family is beautiful. Because you did that. You did the corporate, yeah?
Yeah.
Not saying that the corporate is wrong or anything. I'm just saying his example. But you did the corporate. That's a
corporate. You can do really cool things because you can get a lot of resources.
Exactly.
A lot of tools. Yeah. You can make a lot of things happen, right?
But you were being married to someone half of the time, or at least probably 25% of the time.
Maybe.
Yeah. So well done. Big conversation. Tell me about the energy side of what you do.
Everything is energy. And you shake your head and you're like, yeah, right? So the reason you say that everything is energy is because even the matter that looks still and looks functional isn't. The closer you get, the more chaotic it really is. An electron is never actually a physical piece of matter anywhere. An electron is an idea. An electron is this moving thing, and it's always been pictured as something. The closer you get to it, it's actually just a vibration. So we are made up of energetic vibrations all the time, at all levels, right? And I had a wonderful teaching from a guy who did the biology of belief. He's a doctor, taught biology, right? He's now talks about things like epigenetics, right? So epigenetics is the concept that the traumas of past lives get passed through your genes, right? Crazy, right?
Absolutely.
You can also shift and create in whatever direction you want.
Yeah.
Right, with the things at your fingertips. So in the energy of the world, in the energy of the people and in the touching, right, as you become more accustomed to it, you can have it be a tool for you. Like energy is the first language that anybody ever learns. Yeah. That's why children know whether you're in a good mood or a bad mood. Because they can sense it. Right? Oh, yes. So Abraham said that you can always tell if you're connected or not by looking at the teenagers and the beasts. That if you're in a good place, they'll want to play with you. Otherwise, off you go. So she's been a great, she's been a great measure. And I enjoy my time with the kids, which is good. Andrew's 12 now, and his world is expanding so rapidly with his children, or with his other friends. That's a whole other world for him. And he just went into 6th grade with a school of 800 kids. It's bigger than the 30 that it used to be. I can't know everybody now. Oh, look at you.
That's
so
amazing.
If everything is energy, then you can be, do, or have anything. Like the possibilities of that are
possible.
It's mind-boggling.
It's possible,
right?
It's possible.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Tell me or tell everyone that's listening, where's the best place they can connect with you?
We have a Facebook community that's Expand Your Impact. You can reach us at expandyourimpact.com. Those are probably the two easiest ways. I don't want to throw my cell phone out on your thing, but
No, it's your thing right now.
social media is the best thing. We're a married couple. We have male and female energy. We're looking to contact and help and be of value and be of service to anybody that sort of resonates with the message,
Sure.
right? We help a lot of healers. We help a lot of people who've been told they're wrong like their whole life, right? So we're a big open space of permission and allowance and opportunity and possibility. And if you want to, play in a world where things are seemingly a lot different than what you've been taught, like this is a good place.
Yeah.
So expandyouриmpact.com and the Facebook community, Expand Your Impact.
Love it.
Hey,
Well,
how you doing?
I lost my love. Well, in closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Everything is always working out for you.
Everything is always working out for you.
No matter what, everything is always working out for you.
Love it. Yeah. Boom! My friend, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Joe.
It's a pleasure.